like a general audience, like an outsider, like not outsider, like a general audience, I have a curiosity to know about the film, like, because we have saw a little teaser and a promotional song kind of video, little one. So it gives me a feeling like 300. Why? Because I've seen 1 or 2 special properties and 1 background and a lot of fears, obviously, NTR. And so I want to know more. So who's going to start?
So I think it'll be better if
Yeah.
Shiva starts, because he's the one behind this idea.
It's the most ambitious film I have ever made. Ambitious in the sense, not in the terms of scale, but in the idea itself. So generally, see, from the inception of commercial cinema, fear is always portrayed as a negative emotion. But sometimes I felt that, even fear is very precious. So everyone need to have fear. So, and generally, a hero will be the courage in a commercial cinema to everyone, to a group of people. But I wanted him to be the fear. The men in this world don't understand reason. They understand only fear. So I thought he should be the fear in the film. So with this backdrop, obviously, we'll have that kind of visuals, swords. So that's how the film is being conceived. So you might have felt that, because it's a different world, obviously you'll feel like 300 or Lord of the Rings.
So for me, that was the main idea, which when Shiva narrated. See, in commercial mainstream film, you've always had a protagonist coming in rescue for people, to give them a lot of courage to move forward. But here it's a very different take. The hero is actually, the protagonist is actually standing against people when there's a lot of courage. So sometimes too much of courage is also bad. So it needs to be a balance.
Oh, that you're saying it out in the film.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Pack the film with. See, sometimes a narration like this can become very preachy. It can become very preachy, but Shiva, with the strength he has on commercial movie, on this genre, I think he's packed up with a lot of action. So it is Devara is an action drama. Fear being the main platform on which the whole movie is built up. So it's a very new world which we've created. Mentioned when the movie started, it's the forgotten coastal regions of India. So we've geographically placed it in a very mythical world.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very fictitious world, obviously. But it looks very close to us. It's like a world we've seen before, but it's again something which we haven't visualized before. The characters, the behavioral patterns, the emotions, the drama. It's extremely high on drama and action. So I would probably say that Devara is a action drama.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you're playing around fear, then फिर मौका ही मिल गया ना पूरा मार काटने के लिए दो, then it will be great. I recently visited South Goa. So there's one part in South Goa. So one manager came out of the blue and he told about the action episodes how you shot, about the teaser especially, the crescent moon becomes a full moon with that. So should we talk about the action more, since you said like it's completely laced with action and drama?
I think Saif sir has also been a part of some phenomenal action sequences we've done for this movie.
They shot some incredibly large and violent sequences, and it was great fun doing the action. It's also really raw. There were some huge pelwans from, because a lot of the action is about the fights between the heads of 4 different villages that fight for the ancestral weapons, and it's kind of, the sequences I shot involved, a blood sacrifice to the gods and prayer, and so it was kind of mythologically rooted as well, and then really physically demanding kind of stuff, and great action sequence. We shot a fight for about 10 days.
10 nights.
10 nights.
And we still didn't get done with it.
The teaser fight?
Is it in the teaser?
Yeah.
I think it's a highlight.
I think it's when you see Saif sir's glimpse.
Yeah. Part of the
a
glimpse.
part of the glimpse has got that action in it. But
The running bit?
The running bit is also there. That was shot in.
But the mixture of
forest.
shooting live in the Goan forest, some amazing locations you found, and patching that up with studio, you can't even see technically how it's done. Really well pulled off.
Would you rate this as one of your physically most enduring movies you've been a part
Yeah, I
of?
think it's been one of the most demanding films for sure. And as
There's a heap of weapons stuck to one mountain kind of
Yeah.
thing. The special shot on that. So is it too much of a reveal if you talk about that?
No, I mean it's not a big reveal, but
Okay.
there's a lot which we've placed a lot of the story on that as well. There's no deity worship, so there is no belief in God as such. So what they believe is in
steel,
the ancestorial steel.
like Conan. yeah. They believe in.
So
in
set,
Yeah,
set in
the-
which century this is?
this. Have you said what time it is? Now in
80s and 90s.
80s and 90s.
This is set in
Okay.
I mean like a little bit of the early 80s and the early 90s or the late 90s.
Okay.
So it's an 80s and 90s.
But a very remote place.
But a very remote
Yeah.
place where, I mean, I see there are a lot of villages still, especially in South India also, I think it's there in North as well, that they don't worship a god as such. So there are, in Telugu we call them Grama Devatalu.
Yeah.
In Hindi,
Gram Devata.
Gram Devata.
Yeah.
So it's like that. So
Yeah.
they worship their ancestorial weapons.
Yeah.
So there is no deity worship as such. So for them, that weapons are the most precious.
Okay.
I mean, and they're ready to go to any extent for those weapons.
But whatever the ritual, you understand that it's a ritual. You're bowing to something. So who you're praying to and all, I mean, it comes through that it is about prayer.
Yes.
And like a kind of tribal group, people will connect emotionally to everything that they're going through because the basic drive is the same, whether it's greed or it's power or whether it's wanting to be the strongest or to control it. In that sense, not to give an example of another film, even a film like Apocalypto,
Yes.
sounded like an alien setup, but then when you saw it, it's just like looking at people next door also.
Yeah, exactly. Just
So connection is there.
rooted, yeah.
But it's a very interesting visual. The costumes that we wore,
Yeah.
the clothes were really basic.
Yeah.
And it's almost like tribal pirates, in a way,
Exactly.
this movie. So it's got its own universe, which is always nice, the kind of visual palette and your production design, Sabu sir, and you
Yeah.
really presented something that looks stylish and watchable in terms of, visually. And at the same time, emotionally, it's got the strongest score ever because it's about all these basic
Yes. Sir.
emotions like fear and power and revenge. And,
Yeah, I think today audiences, they're liking when you actually take them into a very fictitious
new
world.
cinema. So the theaters, right?
Yeah.
The
so-
lights go out. And the
and then
things
you're
on
in that
a
world,
new
and you don't want to come out. So it's, I think it's like, if you actually relate to Batman, Gotham is nothing but downtown Chicago, or it's Chicago.
Yeah.
But it's Gotham.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of a world play that is happening today in Indian cinema as well.
Yeah.
If you look at movies like Bahubali, or you look at movies like Kalki, and in a way, even if you look at Animal, so though there are characters which are around us, but after a point of time in that film, you're just with Ranvijay. You're just in his family. You're sitting in that room in his house. So you just alienate people away from the present atmosphere and just take them into this fictitious world.
Yeah.
So I think that's 15 minutes into Devara.
Yeah.
You will be stuck in that world and you're going nowhere. You'll be there. You'll be in that world we've created.
Usually what happens in India, mein, whenever we make a period film, some factor will jitter out. इसमें बहुत seamlessly जा रहा है सब कुछ. Costume, your special arms, background, nothing is popping out. That is, I really liked when I saw the first teaser and आपका भी जो teaser आया था. Nothing was popping out. I felt like everything was well balanced. The cinematography and production
They
design.
kept it quite basic, in the sense that if it's on the beach or the kind of village they live in,
Yeah.
it was, you could maintain a look without risking that, this car or something
True.
can stand out.
See, it's all about their character. See, they don't look very alien.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Janhvi, it's your first Telugu film?
Yes,
Sir, आपका भी first Telugu
And
film?
mine, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it your first?
it is my first, yes.
So, how is the language, lip sync dialogues and all that? How it worked?
That's so
Oh, she's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh God.
She was phenomenal.
With the memory and all.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked.
Yeah.
Randy sir used to call me tape recorder. After action, he said, okay, tape recorder on, and da-da-da-da-da-da used to come.
No, but लेकिन sir, I was shocked when I saw her. मतलब कि, you know, ये लड़की आई है बॉम्बे से.
But she's got
क्या
South
पता
Indian,
होगा?
South Indian roots.
हाँ, but
No?
But still,
Yeah.
sir, see, speaking in Telugu is sometimes, yeah, obviously, but she was just like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a scene where this woman just went. She went all out. And Shiva was just looking at the monitor and he was just looking at me from there. I was walking, just doing this. I was like, she was fabulous. I mean, I was shocked.
Can you say something nice about me as well?
My day is made. I feel like I can leave the interview now. I don't need to worry about anything.
Sir, I think
Okay, I have to-
हमारा camera here has to be experienced in the movie.
Shiva sir told me, he said, don't worry. I said,
mean,
what
but-
about language? What about language? So he said, listen, don't worry. You can speak maybe Hindi or you can speak English, but it's just easy. Just come, just do. Firstly, when I was approached for the film, it was a great honor. I love Hyderabad cinema and I think it's the future of a lot of Indian, Bombay actors, I think, would be lucky and excited to be in a big Hyderabad movie.
Sure.
And I was very lucky to get this offer. But I was worried about this thing. And then you said, just turn up. It's going to be an easy experience. Don't worry about anything. He gave me the most passionate narration. Normally, my attention can wander. If it's not a great narration, I start feeling a little sleepy also. You know, I said, rather read. But it was a spellbinding narration, very emotional. And, he came, we were shooting a film in Amritsar. And you must have said, get Saif or something for this role. Yeah, obviously, you must have
it
thought
was a
of this.
mutual choice.
What a
For me, I
compliment.
could never, somewhere when we wanted this character called Bhaira. So as Saif sir mentioned, see, we don't have names for different clans here. So it is one big hill where everybody is living. So the characters, I mean, like, there's no a particular name for a village as such. So there's like, हाँ वो north village वाला है, ये south village वाला है, ये west का village वाला है, और ये east village वाले हैं. So but it was just that. So when we were designing the characters, I think both of us really felt that, who is as powerful as Devara? For Bhaira. So Bhaira
What a compliment.
needs that kind of a cutout. So for some strange reason, both of us were looking at each other, and I really love Saif sir in Omkara, and I really felt that there is this intensity in him. I mean, though yes, he really has a funny side of him, which tends to dominate. Look at him
And
now.
all the nice things.
But there is so much intensity in Saif sir. I think that hasn't been captured on in movies.
Yeah.
In most of the movies.
Yes, I also personally feel that.
Yes. So, I mean, like, we needed that intensity.
Yeah.
And both of us were like, you know what, I think we should just go approach Saif sir.
So I said, well, how will I do it? He said, don't worry, just turn up. There's a nice big AC set and it's all this water stuff. And I've got these machines and you just sit there and chill and it's going to be a blast.
But that's
And he was absolutely right. I came there and language. So I said, first day, I had to say these lines to this lady who was playing this part. And I was being cued some dialogues and I said, I'll try and get... And the sweat started running down my back and I felt kind of a thrill that I hadn't felt for a long time. I felt I'm working even though it's our country and it's another language, but that diverse, it was like a new thing for me. I felt I'm speaking and I was panicking because I thought maybe I won't do it properly or I roughly understood what I'm saying. I tried to remember
You remember any line?
I knew you'd ask me this. But if you repeat, I'll repeat. No. But I prepared it. And I did one or two lines, and then they were okay in the beginning, the first line. He said, you won't have to speak much. It'll be one line, second line. But after a few days, he got pretty impressed with how I was doing it. And I got used to the language. Like, you get used to anything after a while if you practice enough. And it's not that difficult also. And then after a while, he said, okay, now do a page. And then suddenly the dialogue started getting longer. And I said, he promised me it'd be 1 or 2 lines. And then the assistant would come in the van and say, sir, a dialogue. And I'd say, okay, what? And then he'd go on. And I said, that's 2 pages. And he said, no, you can do it now.
Yeah.
So it's true, we did it.
Yes, sir.
And he would watch very carefully the lip and he said, it's quite perfect. And the greatest thing is my co-star or the lead who's standing with me, who also concentrated and helped, because a lot of actors, it could have been distracting. But how you have performed really well, despite the fact that I'm, I'm speaking a language where people are cueing me and I'm, doing that. So it's a patch together, but it works.
It worked.
I feel like especially on this set with Shiva sir, his approach with me was similar to the way that he approached your character. He was so relaxed. And I used to stalk him. If you see our chat, it's just me day after day. Sir, please can I get the scene? Sir, how will I do it? Sir, please send the dialogues. And he was just like, just relax, just come on set. And I think his ease and of course sir's encouragement just made me feel like, okay, I don't suck. I think I'm doing okay. And
You should actually ask her this question about how she manifested this.
Yeah.
And that's still a surprise.
Yeah, I saw some.
I was like, how?
videos.
I was like, Janhvi, please tell me how to manifest. If I really have to manifest something, how do I do it? How do I manifest that Devara needs to be a super blockbuster hit?
Just say it in every interview ever. Wake up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror and say Devara is going to be a huge hit and everyone's going to be blown away.
Yeah,
I've
that's it.
started
Is that
already.
simple?
I think so.
Is it that simple?
It worked out for me.
I got information. I don't know whether it's a real information or a rumor. Should I ask you based on that? Is it okay?
Are you going to ask me or
the
him
camera is
or
still
her
running.
or him?
Yeah.
Everybody.
You and sir and yeah. I heard this one huge underwater sequence,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
which has come out really, really good. And
Yeah. It's
that's
very-
yeah. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
I heard you made a separate pool for it in Hyderabad.
Yes.
A huge one.
Till then, we had one option of shooting it in Kapoli, because that was one of the biggest pools we had to shoot in Kapoli. And then, for some strange reason, we decided to overspend on that movie and create a pool in the studio which we were shooting for predominantly our action sequences. And it was a massive pool because we really had we shot for close to about 35 odd days underwater. Underwater, over the water, underwater, over the water. That's a phenomenal episode which I think will really
So that's a lengthy sequence then.
It
30
is.
days.
It is one of the most key sequences of Devara.
Okay.
And again, because we're speaking about a world which is near the coastal, which is in the coastal regions of India. So we really had a lot of water elements, shoot on water, shoot in water. So we had these big diggers which came in and created artificial
machines,
waves. We had
amazing
wave
looking
machines.
stuff.
Yeah.
We had motors fixed into the water to give it the small ripples.
In the pool.
So there was a pool and there was a water tank as well. So we had a 200 by 150 water tank. So it was very high on, as I said, high on action. There are certain action sequences of Devara which will really, which will just sweep you off your feet when you're.
So you're getting killed in the first part or you go to the second?
No, that's another thing, I heard. But I heard, when I heard his story, it was great. There's a young look, there's an old look, and there's all this, exciting action and stuff. And I thought it all sounds great. And then they were shooting, and then the story developed. And I heard from Shiva sir that, listen, there's a change of plan now. And we're doing it in 2 parts. And in the second part, your character development is very exciting. This is what happens. And I don't want to maybe give that away.
Yeah.
But it's a wonderful thing.
Or
So
a
he's
cool
not dead.
surprise, eh? That's good.
No,
yeah.
he's rocking.
Yeah. Can we ask this like you both are friends or
That's a lot of revealing.
relatives? or
I think
That's a
it's-
lot of revealing.
We are kind of like also and
That's
like
still a lot of revealing,
relationship.
sir. I think we should
okay,
not.
nothing.
I think we should
Fine.
Yeah, they belong to the
That's
But
still
there's
a
a
lot of revealing.
relationship. There's a strong relationship.
Yeah, there is a very strong relationship. So
ट्रेलर में तो समझ में आएगा होगा ना मतलब when we see the trailer we'll get to know I think
yes.
उसमें भी hide कर रहे हो थोड़ा छोड़ रहे हो सर
They both are
No, I think
friends,
there's no point in hiding it. We are like a few days away from release.
okay so you're playing wife like girlfriend what's happening
That's a complicated answer.
Answer.
Yeah,
It's
it's
complicated
complicated.
with the
In my head, in my
status.
character's head, I feel like she oscillates from, oh, we're married and we have kids and everything's perfect, to like, I hate him.
Yeah.
So it's a wide spectrum. It's a complicated answer.